Well, hey, College Money Academy folks, this is Kelly O'Connor, founder of College Money Academy. I wanted to come to you today because there's an additional story from yesterday. Now, yesterday I detailed the full origin story of College Money Academy, and there's so many stories within that. But you gotta excuse the little fleece, man. Holy moly's, was it cold. So here in Colorado, our pools open up in about 4 or 5 days. And we got 8 inches of snow. We had just this monster heavy snow. We have graduation parties happening here soon. So we had our carpet cleaner guy scheduled. He had the doors open. I had to be here for him. The house was freezing and I just had to put on a nice fleece. But it is what it is. It's a beautiful Colorado day right now, and it's supposed to be like 70 degrees on Friday. But hey, I wanted to touch on something that I kind of skipped over yesterday. And, I went through the detail origin, and then I jumped to what we created and where we are. And it's a really cool story. At least I believe it is. I love telling stories, but there's one inside of there that I just wanted to quickly touch on today because I believe it's very relevant, and it has to do with a mom that reached out to me about 1.5 years ago at a point where I was really getting down about this whole online business. So we were 2 years into building College Money Academy. We were tens of thousands of dollars into it, multiple professionals involved, a big marketing firm that was involved, and that's a story in of itself. But you fast forward 2 years and we still hadn't penetrated the marketplace. Our content was great. The folks that were in it, that we had given it to through different relationships, were having great results. The individuals that I coached personally, last calendar year, the individuals I coached personally, we added an additional $18,400 in reduced price per year. It's 73 grand over the course of 4 years. So the content, the work was still being done, but the academy itself wasn't. And honestly, I hit another wall. I was debating on quitting, honestly, and just calling it done, right? Like, I refused to be the paid for college planner. We tried 2 years on this whole academy thing and we weren't having any success. Well, that's not true. I mean, it just wasn't getting the traction that we were really hoping for. We were having success within it, but what I was desiring, of course, was to flick the college system and impact thousands of people's lives, and we were just having a difficult time with that. And so my wife knew that I needed a date, and we had a gift certificate actually to a local steakhouse. And she's like, come on, let's go on a date. Let's dress up. So I'm dressed up in my suits. She's, of course, looking absolutely beautiful like you women do in your dress. And we're sitting in this amazing steakhouse that has a view of the Colorado Rockies. And I can't stop kind of talking about business. And I'm really questioning if I want to continue on with this College Money Academy thing. I definitely hit a wall. And she excuses herself to go to the restroom, and like we often all do, maybe it's not for the best, but I pick up my phone and I'm looking at anything. I just open up my phone and I notice there's an email, a College Money Academy email from a woman named Shauna, who I've never met in my whole life. And I want to read you the email of this mom. She said this. Now, at the time I had a webinar. We're going to be bringing that webinar back, and she had watched my webinar. She said this: Kelly, first, I love your Irish name. And she's trying to flatter me, and it worked. First, I love your Irish name. I was hoping to appeal the price of your academy. Now, I knew at this point she had watched my webinar because she's using my own languages of appealing. I was hoping to appeal the price of the academy. We know we need your information. We're a family of 7 and work every day of every week. Our oldest will be valedictorian next year if he stays the course, which he did. Excuse me. He is currently junior class president and will be the ASB president next year, his senior year, which he was. He will be a 4-year varsity athlete in 2 sports, but he is on the low end of varsity. Our family has and had many medical challenges, and we adopted a little girl from China. We currently also house a child that was homeless in our area. When he came, he had nothing but the clothes on his back. We love helping him, but this has cost our family a lot. We will continue to support and love him because he's worth it. We just barely make too much for financial aid, and that one burns me. You see, I want to get to that one in a minute, but that's one of the biggest myths out there that is just false. And because of all the work with College Money Academy, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of incredibly successful people, and that's the biggest myth. So let me start there again. We just barely make too much for financial aid. All of our extra income has gone to paying medical, adoption fees, and feeding and clothing 7 people. Thank you for your consideration. Now, literally, when my wife excused herself to go to the bathroom, I was full-blown smack hit into that wall. I was feeling pretty down, and I read this, and it moved me very much. I immediately responded and told her that she has full access to me, and I want to give her access to my academy completely, dig in, watch everything, and she couldn't believe that I offered that, but I did. But here's what happened. The epiphany that came from this one was I realized that my primary goal through the origin story, if you recall yesterday, my whole goal and desire, I refused to be a paid-for college planner. I didn't want to isolate the families that couldn't pay for the college planner. And here I had done it. And that's why our academy couldn't get the traction. I was charging $1,200. Now I knew that I could provide 10 times that value, and I even offered a money-back guarantee then to where if I did not make the benchmark of bringing in $12,000 extra of reduced price due to my academy, that I would refund your full $1,200. So I was willing to let you dig into the academy, use all my content, consume everything, and if it didn't work, I'd give you your money back. But still, I created a barrier. I created a barrier of $1,200. And at that point, before my wife even came back, man, the wall was obliterated. The epiphany hit me. I messed up. The reason we weren't getting the traction was, man, we just priced ourselves out. We didn't have the full value there for people to see this and go, wait, what? $1,200? That's a crap ton. Even if you've got the money, our whole offer, everything just wasn't really fully there. So the plan then became very quickly, I need to add more value and I need to drastically lower the price. And that's exactly what I set out to do. Now, the conflict with that, of course, was now all of a sudden I've got to recreate this whole thing. That's when I brought it down to $47 a month. But I've got to now repurpose all this content. I've got to recreate and add new content. And that's where this all started again, as I mentioned yesterday. That's where I realized that the whole thing was in video format, and we're in the process of converting all of that into an ebook structure as well, so individuals can not only watch but read, and then also adding the audio component. And how are we going to deliver the audio? With just links and on, no, let's put it on an actual MP3 player and mail that out so you get something from us. Adding a workbook, we had so many questions about the timeline, right? Like feeling rushed. I mean, even, my own wife with her son, my stepson, she's feeling rushed. Like what do we do? I feel like we need to be doing something. I'm like, it's okay, we got it. So we created a detailed timeline description so you know what to do, and also a map so you can even put that map. I got that idea when my stepson's high school gave us a map for the fridge. I'm like, oh, I need a map for the academy. So we created this detailed map and a special Facebook group for those who have subscribed, so we can do, I can offer almost the equivalent of a one-on-one coaching, because I can't work with, at this point I've gotten to where I have to limit how many people I work with, but I want to work with thousands of them, and I can do so using that structure. So the conflict was, that's the plan. The conflict was, oh my gosh, we've already spent almost $100,000 in 2 years on this academy. And now I've got to rebuild this. So that's what I've been doing. And it's taken extra time. So what? It's taken extra time. But all of this is what you get. You see, at $47 a month, you get the entire academy. You get all the videos. And you get what the videos represent is that 5 years I mentioned yesterday, the 5 years of education that it took me to dial all this in, to discover those 3 secrets that are the keys to getting more money. All that is condensed in this academy for you. Now, some of these other tools that I've mentioned, they are some small upsell opportunities, but I want to get the academy to everybody, like I did this woman. And then I'm certainly excited to be able to work with you through the other formats as well. Now, I want to read to you a text I just got from her last week. I had just reached out to say, how's it going, Shauna? And she told me this. I printed this out. We should know more soon. I changed the name of her son. John took the SAT again. He's looking to increase his score by 20 points. If he does, he'll get $2,000 off each year. That's awesome. They didn't know that until some of the stuff that I was showing and teaching them. In order to inquire and ask, he'll probably be able to make it happen. There's an extra $2,000 per year. There's an extra $8,000 just by having some knowledge about this stuff. Back to her text. Once we know that, in a couple weeks, we will send you the breakdown. You know, Kelly, you saved us a lot of money, she put in all caps. I know if he had gone to a state school, it would show you even saved us more. With his neurological disorder, he needs to be in a more kind, gentle atmosphere. We are so thankful for you. So you see, it turns out, and I didn't know it at the time of her email, turns out it was her son that had the medical issues. This kid has battled, man. He has battled. 4-year varsity in 2 sports, valedictorian, class president, and he's the one with the medical issues. And this family, this husband and wife, were sitting there a year and a half ago feeling like they had kind of failed their kid because they were looking at just some of these state schools that were definitely below his capability and also would be in an atmosphere that wasn't conducive, that wasn't best for his neurological disorder. But these schools that he had earned the ability to go to, but they couldn't afford because they were looking at the cost of attendance. Secret number 1, throw that number out. There's no way. They were not going to even apply to those schools. But not only did they apply, those schools are very aggressive in buying good students, and they bellied up to the bar for the family. And he's going. He got into the schools of his choice. He got into the schools that fit him the best with his condition. And I can't tell you how great that feels to be involved in that just one time. It's amazing. So now what's happened? So the transformation that's happened with College Money Academy that you get to take advantage of is the entrance barrier is just busted down, right? $47 a month, you get all the Video Academy. What's happened then from all of this transformation and all these tools we're building is one of the biggest financial firms in the country asked me to come present to their number 1 office, to their top people, literally their number 1 office. You can watch that presentation on our College Money Academy YouTube page. I'm sure we've even linked it here on our Facebook. I'd ask that you do. It was an excellent meeting, but bringing awareness to them. So what's happening now is they want, potentially, they're looking to see if we can run through their entire company. They want all of their advisors to be trained. There's 85,000 of them. But what we're going to do here a little bit later in the year is we're going to have for about 600 people of their clients, we're going to have a paid for event to where over the course of about 3 or 4 hours, I teach the entire academy. I teach people how to do this. They got to pay to get into this one, but that's how they want to do it for their clients. So we're going to be doing this in front of about 600 people here towards the end of the year. That's going to be great. That also got me, you can Google Top Advisor podcast. It's what it's called, Top Advisor. So it's one of, for independent financial advisors, it's one of the top podcasts. And they interviewed me because they knew and discovered that financial planners need this information in their clients. So I'm working right now with a 20-year TV producer who is looking to fit us in. I was already on a news show about 4 or 5 months ago and looking to fit us in more. So the traction now is taken off. And that's really great because we're getting the opportunity to work with more and more families because like this woman right here, they deserve the chance. So this woman, that night, that dinner, that evening, and this lady's decision to reach out to a guy she did not know and ask for a deal changed everything for College Money Academy. And it changed everything for her son also. And that's very moving for me. So I hope that you can join the cause. And that cause is, for one, to fight for your family. I don't care if you have millions of dollars, you don't just want to throw it out the window just because you fall under the unfortunate advice of you make too much money. You don't want to just throw it out. You also, if you're a family that has the ability to redirect your cash flow to pay for it, I'm sure you would prefer to have that go towards accumulation of your assets instead of just paying for an expense and that money be gone. Or if you're in a position to where there's no way you can do it and you're looking at only debt, well, you know what? You need to be on this too. So I would ask that you join the cause, that you register, you enroll, you get in. It's only $47. Because what you want for your kid is possible, and you don't have to pay the cost that everybody is saying has to happen. So, but it makes sense. I understand, when you look out across the landscape, this misinformation is very prevalent. So, like this woman, she felt like she failed her kid, and it's just false. What they didn't know is they actually had done enough, which was amazing. So, I would ask that you join our cause, that you get in, you check out our academy. I assure you, you're going to find the value in it. And as these new things, if you do, then as these new things, these ebooks, the audio, the workbook, as all that starts to come out, then you're going to be grandfathered into that, right? You're going to get that because once that goes live, that's all that stuff is going to be some upsells. So right now, you get the academy for $47. You get everything, all the modules. You get all that stuff. But then, as this new material comes in, you get that too, without any upsell, needed, because you came in during this window that I'm promoting between now and when that goes live. So anyway, join our cause. Become a college hacker, as I say. You're ultimately, this is what you love about going live. Become a college hacker with us because you're one step away from getting your kid to the school that he or she deserves, just like Shauna here. You're one step away from not having to take on debt to make it possible. You're one step away from not having to deplete your asset just because you have it. You're one step away from not having to redirect your contributions to your investment accounts in order to pay for this expense and have that money be gone forever. You're one step away from your kid not having to take on a crap ton of debt, or you with Parent Plus loans. It's just one step away. Whatever it is to you, College Money Academy fits into that mold. So I wanted to share this story with you because this woman and her kid deserve the exposure. She single-handedly, I know I've already said before I'm going to have her on. I'm going to. Her reaching out changed a lot for her family, but it also changed a lot for us. And it's why College Money Academy right now is really getting the traction we knew that it would. So hope you have a great day. Hope you get to stay warmer than we are here in Colorado right now. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.